couple of weeks ago, I went on my first ICE raid, and I got to see ICE and Homeland Security and other agencies and agents come together, different field offices come together to find this guy who a week prior had like a brick of fentanyl or a portion of a brick, enough to kill 1,000 people. It was a lot. But one of the things that I learned there was that in the Biden administration, those agencies weren't actually able to work together. They weren't allowed to do that work together to deport those who are here illegally. And I learned a lot during that. But Dr. Gilmore, I want to ask you my first question. Something struck me in your testimony this morning. You're talking about restrictions on data. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Some examples, like I guess it was maybe biometric data. There are restrictions on data you can utilize or?
Yeah, so we have advanced technologies, facial recognition technology, pattern matching technology that could be used to solve a vast array of crime and can be used to identify victims of crime, especially minor victims of child sexual abuse material, human trafficking victims, that type of thing, who often live in the shadows, right? But that technology is so tightly controlled out of fear of privacy that it's only used in a very small percentage of cases. There's been a lot of fear that has been allowed to grow around that technology, I think often by people who don't really understand the technology and don't understand the fact that we can utilize that technology while also putting in proper safeguards to protect privacy, ethics, and civil rights.
And silos, some examples of silos that you mentioned.
Again, a lot of that technology is siloed into different components or divisions. It's not rolled out through an enterprise solution to the agency. Different components within DHS, our systems don't talk to each other. I mean, we have a hard enough time talking between HSI and ERO, between our systems, much less bringing in CBP, TSA, Border Patrol. And when that data is siloed within those particular components, it's very easy to miss things because you can't access the data and operationalize that data.
And then my next question is really for everyone. Can you speak to how the Biden administration used technology to facilitate the invasion of illegal aliens into the country?
Yes, ma'am. For one, CBP One app, I believe, was definitely misused by the Biden administration to allow people to come in. And that was one technology that was developed out of something that it shouldn't have been used for. I think it was a go-around around Congress to allow people to enter the United States. And we've seen a lot of those cases that have entered on the CBP One app show up as criminal aliens, in the arrests that we've made.
How's the app used?
How is it used?
Yeah, how's it used to do that?
Well, what we've seen, especially the fraud from that, is that the cartels were actually using it down in Mexico and having people sign up through them to then get on the CBP One app and get around, being able to go through. So the cartels were actually making money off of the CBP One app.
That's insane. Dr. Gilman.
Yeah, I echo everything that my counterpart just said. I don't have as much experience with the CBP One app, particularly because my focus was with HSI and primarily on criminal investigations. But even within HSI, we saw the misuse of the CBP One app by those subjects that we did encounter, oftentimes subjects of criminal investigations.
The cartels using CB One app to get people into this country illegally. And we know this. We know this, and we allowed it to happen. Mr. Hanklinson?
In terms of numbers, that nothing is more extreme than CBP One. There was also the programs for specific countries, which obviously had to use technology to enroll people in the first place. There was a lot of diversion or there was some diversion of ICE money to programs like the case management pilot program and the young adult case management program, I think it was, that were essentially providing social services instead of enforcement operations, and I'm sure that had to be facilitated by the use of the technology that they had.
I'm certain that they did. Thank you.